Hey everyone, it's Peter from Argo. So we just put out a new RNS, which is calling for a general meeting, an extraordinary general meeting in early September. At that meeting, we're going to take some resolutions, 5 resolutions to shareholders. And I'm just going to give you some context to those 5 resolutions and why we're calling for this general meeting. So the company's strategy is to build out our operations in the United States. And we think that a NASDAQ listing, and I know many of you think this as well, is the best path to do that. However, when we are in the US, we are measured and compared against our US competitors, other publicly traded companies that are listed in the US. And so we need to be on a level playing field with them. And there's different exceptions and norms and standards in each jurisdiction. And so it's a balance for us to be listed in the UK, which we are planning to retain. This would be a dual listing, and to be a NASDAQ listed company. So I'm going to walk you through briefly what we need to level the playing field. And these are related to the 5 resolutions we're taking to shareholders. So we need enough shares. We need flexibility to attract talent. We need a new remuneration policy and a share option plan. And lastly, we need new articles of association. So those are the things that the resolutions deal with. And I'm just going to walk you through now each of the resolutions and give you a little bit more context for each of them. So the first one is a grant of new share authority. U.S. entities have a lot more flexibility when it comes to issuing shares. We also need that flexibility. So this grant of the new share authority will be used intelligently by us. It's in line with our smart growth strategy. We're not going to issue new shares willy-nilly. But it's an important part of this whole process. We will be doing a fundraise alongside a potential NASDAQ IPO. And so some of these shares that would be granted under this authority would go towards that IPO fundraise. We're going to be responsible, obviously, with any share authority. And again, it's just kind of leveling the playing field with our North American listed peers. The second resolution is a new director's remuneration policy. Again, we're going to be working in the US market, and we need the flexibility to attract and retain talent in that US market. And so expectations or norms are different than they are in the UK. And in order to kind of engage in that competitive market, we're going to be looking at strategic hires, et cetera, et cetera. We need to pay folks appropriately. So that's what this second resolution is about. The third resolution is a new share option plan that's US based. Again, it's similar to the second. It's really about attracting and retaining talent. There's an expectation in the US that new employees and existing employees will have more options and exposure to potential upside for the company. So this third resolution is putting into place a US style share option plan. The fourth resolution is a non-executive director grant of equity compensation. In the US, again, it's common to grant equity compensation to non-executive directors. It's less common in the UK. But as a growing company, we really want to be able to use this as a way to attract talent to our board of directors, align their interest with shareholders. Super common in the US, not super the norm in the UK. So we wanted shareholders to vote on this and consider whether it's reasonable. We think it makes sense. In the absence of an equity compensation kind of plan like this for non-executive directors, it would be an increase in fees. So we prefer the equity side, but we wanted to take that resolution to shareholders. And the fifth resolution is new articles of association. This is kind of straightforward plumbing, structural tweaks, not really that significant, but an important piece for us to get done ahead of a potential NASDAQ IPO. So that's it. Those are the 5 resolutions. Again, they're in line with our smart growth strategy. They're in line with our strategy to build out our operations in North America and to have a dual listing in London and on the NASDAQ. So if you support those ideas, we'd ask you to support these resolutions. And the general meeting is going to take place in early September in London. Thanks very much, everyone. Onwards and upwards.